Welcome to September. The Bay Area housing inventory fell again, and here's the wild part. It is still higher than it was last year. So let's unpack why buyers are still moving, sellers are still holding, and where prices are headed next. Inventory continues its seasonal decline at this time of the year, so we're down just over 6% from last week alone, and we're down in inventory about 12% from last month. All of that translates into inventory numbers in the area being up just over 8% on a year-over-year basis, and last year we had ridiculously low inventory levels. Let's break it down by property type and start with single-family homes first. This means that today, buyers have about 70 homes less to look at than they did just a week ago. And this is on the per county level. So 70 homes fewer in Santa Clara County, San Mateo County, Alameda County, more or less the numbers are the same. And then when we look at inventory that is under contract, homes that are pending, that is down month over month, which coincides beautifully with the overall seasonal drop in inventory. The number I'm most interested in is the absorption rate, which looks at the number of properties sold in a given period of time. Now that metric that measures the market heat, so to say, and it has hit its highest level since March of 2025, which was the pre-tariff announcement, pre-tariff news. As a seller, this means that your competition has just thinned out, and that means that more buyers are looking at your property. Another data point I was really interested in looking at is the median home prices after the price adjustment in July. Now looking at August data, the prices are almost identical to where they were back in July, curbing thoughts of any further price drop. Let's move on to condos and townhomes. Now, this is a market segment that has clearly been affected by the consumer confidence and affordability. Let's take a look at why. Looking at the inventory, it fell just over 3% week over week again, reaching its lowest inventory since March. Very similar trend to the single-family homes. This kind of inventory movement has pretty much wiped out entirely the 20% hike in inventory we have seen for condos and townhomes in Bay Area during the spring and summertime. The pending home data has remained resilient and pretty consistent despite the ins and outs of the inventory fluctuations. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but the absorption rate for condos and townhomes has also climbed just like it did for single-family homes, and it's at its highest level since March of this year. Again, this is the pre-tariff announcement news. Now that said, we have seen a month-over-month decline in median sales price again, and that number now is only $3,000 higher than the median prices we had back at the beginning of this year in January for condos and townhomes. Now let's look at what's coming up. In case you haven't been paying attention, mortgage rates are at their lowest level in 2025. And at the same time, looking at the number of mortgage applications, that is, who wants to buy a home, any way you slice and dice the data, those numbers are up, month over month, week over week, year over year. People want to buy a home. Well-priced, well-located, and well-presented properties are still moving fairly quickly throughout Bay Area, but buyers are more particular than they are in a traditionally high-competition type of market in Bay Area. Homes with negative properties and smaller demographic properties, such as 1- and 2-bedroom condos or townhomes, are still requiring more patience and motivation from the sellers. So here's the bottom line. The fundamental factors that drive Silicon Valley real estate are very solid, if not strong. So for a buyer, you're looking at the lowest interest rate levels this year so far in 2025, and competition is still manageable versus the 2021 craziness we have had, which could create a sweet spot for you to get into the market or move up to the next house. Now, on the listing side, for those of you that are sellers out there, on the listing side, if your home is move-in ready and it's priced well, buyers are showing up. On the other hand, if the property has some flaws or it's a smaller type of property attracting a smaller demographic, smaller demand from the buyers, then expect it to take a little bit of time to get that property sold. Thank you so much for watching. I'm always here to help you create a better life through real estate. See you next time.